What if the very expectations you carry, the ones you think will bring you happiness, are actually the source of your disappointment, your anxiety, and your constant frustration with life? What if letting go of those expectations is not giving up, but finally gaining control? The answer might surprise you, and by the end of this video, you'll understand how the Stoics used this idea to achieve a rare kind of freedom that most people never experience. From the moment we wake up, we're filled with expectations. We expect people to treat us a certain way. We expect traffic to move, plans to work, emails to be answered, goals to be achieved. We expect the world to cooperate with our personal blueprint for how life should unfold. And when it doesn't, we feel betrayed. We feel disappointed. We feel out of control. But the Stoics understood something most people ignore their entire lives. Expectations are premeditated disappointments. They are mental contracts with reality that reality never agreed to sign. The problem isn't that life is hard. It's that we expect it to be easy. The problem isn't that people are flawed. It's that we expect them to be perfect. We walk around thinking we're being rational, but we are actually living inside invisible cages made of our own assumptions. And every time reality doesn't meet those assumptions, we suffer, not because life is cruel, but because our expectations were never grounded in truth. Stoicism teaches us to expect nothing and prepare for everything, not in a pessimistic way, but in a liberated way, to act without attachment, to love without possession, to strive without demanding a result. When you detach your sense of peace from how things turn out, you gain something far more powerful than control. You gain resilience. You stop riding the emotional roller coaster of highs and lows, victories and defeats. You develop a quiet strength that doesn't collapse when plans change or people disappoint. Imagine living your life without being ruled by your expectations. You show up to do your best and let go of the outcome. You give generously, not to be thanked, but because generosity is who you are. You set goals, but you don't tie your self-worth to achieving them. You speak your truth, even if it's misunderstood. This is what the Stoics called inner freedom, the ability to remain calm and centered, regardless of what the world throws at you. This doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop clinging. There's a difference. When you cling to expectations, you're not present. You're living in a version of the future that doesn't exist yet. And when things don't go according to plan, you resist what's happening. That resistance creates tension, stress, and confusion. But when you let go, when you stop trying to bend reality to your will, you open up space for clarity, for better decisions, for peace. One of the most famous Stoic exercises is negative visualization, premeditatio malorum. It means imagining in advance the things that could go wrong, not to be fearful, but to be mentally prepared. If you expect delays, you're not frustrated when they happen. If you accept that people may not praise you, you're not shaken by silence. If you consider that things might take longer than expected, you remain patient. This doesn't mean expecting the worst. It means no longer being surprised by life. People who expect too much suffer too much. They expect immediate results, constant progress, and perfect relationships. And when reality doesn't deliver, they take it personally. They think life is unfair. But life isn't unfair, it's indifferent. It responds to your actions, not your expectations. And when you truly understand this, you stop feeling like a victim. You stop being tossed around by disappointment. You take responsibility for your reactions, and you reclaim your peace. This mental shift isn't easy. We're conditioned to expect. We're told to dream big, demand more, visualize success. And those things have value, but only when they're rooted in detachment. Wanting something is fine. Needing it to feel whole is not. When your happiness depends on outcomes, you are never really happy. You are just temporarily satisfied. And temporary satisfaction fades the moment life turns. But what happens when you free yourself from expectation? You begin to live fully. You start appreciating the present moment. You see people for who they are, not who you want them to be. You make plans, but you're not destroyed when they change. You realize that the world owes you nothing, and in that realization, you become grateful for everything. Stoicism doesn't ask you to abandon goals. It asks you to anchor your peace in things you can actually control: your thoughts, your decisions, your values. And it teaches that everything else, other people's actions, external outcomes, random events, are not within your command. The more you obsess over those things, the more powerless you become. But the more you align with what's yours to govern, the more powerful you become. You stop expecting the world to be fair, and you start choosing to be just. You stop expecting life to be easy, and you start choosing to be strong. You stop expecting others to understand you, and you start choosing to understand yourself. That's what makes the Stoic mindset so rare and so liberating. It's not about controlling life. It's about mastering your relationship to it. And here's something most people never realize. The fewer expectations you have, the more open you are to wonder, to surprise, to beauty. When you stop needing everything to go a certain way, you start noticing what's already going right. You start seeing the little gifts hidden in ordinary moments. You start experiencing life as it is, not as a checklist, but as an unfolding mystery. Now let's return to the question that opened this video. What if the expectations you carry are the very things holding you back from peace? The answer is, they are. Expectations are invisible chains. And the moment you let them go, you stop being controlled by outcomes and start living by principles. You become anchored in something deeper than success or approval. You become rooted in yourself. That's the power of the Stoic mindset. Not detachment from life, but detachment from illusion. From the false idea that everything must go your way for you to be okay. Real freedom is not getting what you want. It's being okay even when you don't. And the path to that freedom begins with one decision: to release your expectations and embrace what is. That is the Stoic way. Quiet, clear, free.